Okay, so before we begin the video, I'd like to thank all the patrons who continue to support the channel. Thank you very much. Alright people, so how are you guys doing? Since I haven't really done a video about combos before, I guess it's time to do one now. But before we begin, let me tell you that this video will be more focused on the more practical combos to use in a real match, though I will still include some few difficult ones. When you're still learning law, of course you would want to learn the Legend Kick Ender, which was a topic in one of my videos which I will be including in the description. But to those who still can't do the Legend Kick, I will still include some few easier combos that don't require the forward 4-3 into Legend Kick Ender. But in the meantime, I strongly suggest that you still practice that. Okay, so first off, let's start with the launchers. Down forward 2, up forward 4, while standing 2, counter hit down 2-3, counter hit forward 1+2, counter hit forward 3+4, counter hit DSS 2, back turn down 4, delayed hop kick, and low parry. The most reliable combo that you want to do off this is forward 4 up 3, then do back 2, then do back 2 1 to do the tailspin, and then run up and do the forward 4-3 and the Legend Kick. And what's good about this is that this is very flexible when it comes to wall carry. Okay, so for those who can't do the forward 4-3 into Legend Kick Ender, you can do this combo instead. Forward 4 up 3, then do back 2 into another back 2, and then back 2 1 to tailspin. And then you can do a manual DSS into a Legend Kick by pressing down 1+2 into forward 4. So far, those are the two that I recommend the most, but I'm still going to show you a few of the more challenging ones. And here's the combo that I use when I'm off axis to the left, because most combos that I previously mentioned don't work in that instance. So you would have to do something else that would work. So for this, when I'm only slightly off axis, I would do forward 4 up 3 into a DSS 3 to get the tailspin right away. And then I would do forward 4-3, but instead of a Legend Kick to finish, you would want to do a Dragon Cannon forward 3 instead. But if you're very off axis, I would recommend to do forward 4-2-1-3 instead, right after the tailspin. So the next combos that I'm about to show you are for the launchers 3+4-4, sidestep 3+4, and forward 4-3. And the combo that I like to do, which is also the most reliable when off axis, first you do a dash into a Junkyard, back 2-3-4, then you end it with a Legend Kick, DSS forward 4. Pretty simple. But it's not that flexible when it comes to wall carry, and that's why some people like to do dash into forward 4 up 3, then do forward 4-2-1-3. Sometimes if you're at the right distance from the wall, you can then continue with a wall ender. But what I like about this one is that whenever you need a wall carry, all you need to do is to replace the move after forward 4 up 3. Like for example, you can replace it with 3 plus 4 4 or forward 4 2 3. So far, there's other combos that I recommend, but if you want to see some harder ones, here they are. Okay, the next is Magic 4. For this, the easy, most reliable combo that I would recommend is you want to do a back 2 into a 2. Then back 2 into back 2 1 to tailspin. Then all you need to do is run up and do the forward 4-3 into Legend Kick. You could also do back 2 into another back 2, then 2 into a back 2 1 to tailspin. But I find the first one more reliable. Also, if you can't do the regular ender, you can do back 2 into a 2, then back 2 into another back 2, and then a back 2 1. And then do the manual DSS Legend Kick by doing down 1 plus 2 into a forward 4. One that I like to do the most would have to be the Junkyard back 2 3 4 into a DSS 3 to tailspin. Then all I need to do is just run up and do the Legend Kick ender. Some people even like to replace the DSS 3 with a back 2 1 instead, but I personally find that more difficult, so I just stick with DSS 3 to tailspin. Okay, so we now go to counter hit back turn 2. The combos you get off this launcher are similar to that of Magic 4, but some of them will not work with back turn 2 because the Magic 4 puts you slightly off axis to the left. For this launcher, I would recommend the same combos as of Magic 4, back 2, 2, back 2, and then back 2 1 to tailspin. Then all you need to do is run up and do the forward 4-3 into Legend Kick. And also back 2 3 4 into DSS 3. But if you can't do the Legend Kick ender, you can still do the manual DSS combo, but you would have to do a small sidestep left after the launcher. So it's gonna be sidestep left, back 2, 2, back 2, back 2, into back 2, 1 to tailspin, and then do manual DSS Legend Kick, down 1 plus 2, into forward 4. And here's also another combo which is specific to this launcher. Back 2 into 4 up 3, not forward 4 up 3, then do back 2 1 to tailspin. And then run up and do the forward 4-3 into Legend Kick. So now is the new counter hit launcher that Law got in Season 3. Down 1, counter hit 3. You're likely to land this whenever they're pressing buttons after the first hit, down 1. And the combo you do is dash into forward 4 up 3. And then you just do Junkyard back 2 3 4 into a Legend Kick DSS forward 4. And now for Law's throw launcher, forward 4 3 plus 4. From this you can also do the same combo out of down forward 2, forward 4 up 3, then do back 2, then do back 2 1 to do the tailspin. and then run up and do the forward 4-3 and the legend kick. But the staple I use after landing the throw is I do a delayed hop kick, and that's by holding up forward, and at the peak of the jump, you need to press a 4 to do the kick. After that, you follow that up with a back 2 and then a 2. Then for the tail spin, you can do down 1-3. And then you just end the combo with a regular ender. Now for the combo we do after flip kicks. Up forward 4, hold, full crouch up forward 4, counter hit down 3 plus 4-3, counter hit full crouch 4-3, counter hit down forward 4-3, counter hit full crouch 3-4, and up forward 3-4. Because the flip kick makes law recover and crouch, you want to first begin the combo with an up forward 1. Then you want to follow up with a forward 4 up 3 into a back 2-1 to tailspin, and then you just run up and do the regular render. The combo that we do out of a down forward 2 will also work, but we need to do a manual crouch cancel by tapping up, just right after landing the flip kick. Now for the combo after we land double flip kicks. Up forward 4 hold and then 3, and then full crouch up forward 4-3. This combo is the one that I've been using a lot since it's weaker than the following combos, but it's more reliable and flexible for wall carries. All you need to do is 3 plus 4 into a back 2-1 to tailspin, and then you just run up and do forward 4-3 into a legend kick. And then the following combo is a lot simpler to do, but it has shorter wall carry. All you need to do is forward 3-4 to tailspin from the start, and then run up and do the forward 4-3 into legend kick. This combo maybe is the optimal damage one, but this one is a bit harder than the 2 combos I've shown before, because it requires you to do the DSS transition twice. All you need to do is forward 4-3 into DSS 3 to tailspin right away, and then you just run up and do the regular render, forward 4-3 into a legend kick. Okay, for the next launcher we have Junkyard, back 2-3-4. Now there are 2 scenarios every time you launch someone with Junkyard. One scenario is when you choose to commit into DSS, and the combo that I like to do would be to tailspin first with DSS 3. And then after that, we just do Junkyard into DSS again in order for us to do legend kick. And the other scenario is when you choose to not commit into DSS, and the combo that I like to do would be to do forward 3-4, and then we just follow up with forward 4-3 into DSS forward 3, the Dragon Cannon. You could also get more damage off the forward 3-4 tailspin, but this one is slightly more difficult. So after you do the forward 3-4 tailspin, you just do Junkyard into a legend kick. And before we move on to the next part of this video, this combo is done when you successfully block a slide, and also when you land a counter hit, get up 3. You first want to do while standing 4 into a back 2, and then a 2 into a down 1-3 to tailspin. Then all you do is run up and do forward 4-3 into legend kick. So before we proceed to the actual wall combos, we first need to learn how to do wall conversions, or wall carries. And Law has very good moves for wall conversions, and we typically do them after a tailspin during a combo. Law has down to 3, which is the best one in my opinion, because the carry and the damage we get is decent enough. And 3+4, which can also be used in place of down to 3. And also don't forget about 3+4-4. The extension can also be used if the wall is further away. Back to 1 also works, but the damage is slightly less. And 4-4-2-3, which is used when the wall is really at a distance away. But from my own personal experience, what I like using the most out of these are down to 3 and 3+4-4. Okay, so we now move on to wall combos. The most damage that we can do every time we get a wall splat is 4-4-3 into DSS 4-3, a dragon cannon. This has the most damage, but this wall ender doesn't give us the best Oki. As we can see, there's nothing we can do to get away if the opponent tries a toe kick. So we're gonna have to commit to either blocking, parrying, or crushing it whenever we want to avoid getting hit by it. So it leaves us vulnerable to the mid get-up and spring kicks. It's basically like giving the opponent a free wake-up mix-up. So if we want a wall ender that recovers faster, what we can do instead is replace the DSS 4-3 with DSS 4-1. So we're gonna end up with 4-4-3 into DSS 4-1. With this ender, we can now just backdash away from all their wake-up options, and we can then try to whiff punish if they do press buttons. We also can do the low sweep version of Junkyard, back to 3 down 4. In situations when we don't have time to run closer to the wall. And down back 4-4, this one is the ender that I like the most because it flips them over into a face down feet away position. And from this position, they cannot do any toe kicks and spring kicks. So this completely takes out most of the annoying wake up options. But remember that you're gonna need a wall splat first before doing this. So it means that this will not work on opponents who land close to the wall during a tailspin. For high wall splats, well, I actually mean medium-high wall splats. The combo you do is you do a 4-4 into any wall ender that you want. So for example, we can do 4-4 into 4-4-3 into DSS 4-3. Or we could even do 4-4 into down back 4-4 for better Oki. But let's say you land a wall standing 2. This gives us a really high wall splat. What we can do here is we can do a 4-3-4 as the filler, and then we can do any wall ender that we want. So we can do 4-3-4 into 4-4-3 into DSS 4-3. Of course, we're not going to forget about Kuma and Panda because we have a special wall combo that only works on bears. But before you try this combo, just remember that you're gonna need a wall splat first. And the combo that you need to do is, you need to do an instant wall standing 3 into a DSS 4-2 into a 1-1-1-1-2-2-1+2. Note that you can slightly delay the last hit to get 60% scaling for extra damage. We now go over to Law's wall bounce move, and Law only has one of these, and that move is 4-4-3 or DSS 4-3, the dragon cannon. And the combo you do depends on how far you land this from the wall. So I'm first going to show you the combo whenever we land this close. Just like a high wall splat, I mean a medium-high wall splat, you can do a 4-4 into any wall ender that we previously talked about. If the wall is still somewhat close, that is when their back is about 1 or 2 backdashes away from the wall, We can do sidestep 3+4 or back 3 to get a tailspin. If you hit the wall bounce at max distance, the most damage that you can do is by doing a manual legend kick. But this is rather inconsistent because you would have to remember the specific distance where this works. But so far, the most consistent filler that I use would have to be the double flip kick. Upward 4 hold and then 3. This is the one that I recommend. Okay, so let us now go into Forgotten Realm just to talk about floor break combos. For floor breaks, there's only one move that we need to use and nothing else. And that move is forward 1+2. You use this primarily when you carry your opponent to the wall. Just use this during a wall splat or if you tailspin them close enough to the wall. And downstairs, you can then do the same combo we do for high wall splats, which is you use forward 4 as a filler and then finish it with any wall ender that we want. And for this one, I've already shown this in the backturn guide video. So whenever you throw your opponent with these throws, 2+4 and down forward 1+2, 1-2, 1+2, the combo you do downstairs is backturn 1+2 to tailspin, and then follow that up with a Junkyard into a legend kick. Alright, so before we end this video, I just want to talk about the combos that we can do in case we catch the opponent's back. One example is when we block King, Armor King, and Eddie's spring kicks. This type of spring kick is actually -26 on block, so we can do whatever we want. And our best option, as long as they don't have a wall behind them, is to launch their back with Junkyard. And here are the combos that we can do. This one does more damage but is rather axis sensitive. Forward 4 up 3 and then you follow that up with a back 2 and then a back 2-1 to tailspin. And then forward 4-3 DSS forward 4. And the next combo is the one I use. This one does a bit less damage, but it is more reliable. First you tailspin with DSS 3 and then you follow up with Junkyard into Legend Kick, DSS forward 4. Okay, so what about when there's a wall behind them? Obviously, if we use Junkyard, we're not gonna get much if they get wall splatted with their back facing us. So what we do instead is this combo. 4-3-4 into DSS forward 2 to 1+2. This is also, by the way, Law's 11 frame Punisher for backturned opponents. And as you can see, since it doesn't launch the opponent, all the hits land for 100% unscaled damage. Other examples on when to use this punish is after blocking Link's Root Kick and Lily's backturn 4. But this combo, I'm afraid, maybe is inconsistent when off axis. So just to be sure, we can just do 4-3 into DSS 2+4. Note that a throw is completely unavoidable when it connects on your back. And by the way, of course, you can extend the combo into 4-3-4 DSS 2+4. But there's one small chance that the third kick may land off axis. So just to be sure, just stick with 4-3 into DSS 2+4. Alright guys, so I hope that you all enjoyed the video. Please like, comment down below, or subscribe. Thank you very much.